Cab. Check this shit. What? Help? What in the world? Wow, great, excellent. Hey Boodles. UMM. All I sacrifice my sleep for this lol JK, it's okay. Here we go again. The voice actor sounds retarded. LMOA. You like Jazzy Mac and cheese. Rip my ears. What does mac and cheese taste like? Actually sounds like the beat to a song. This is the type of stream I hope to show my dad one day. Have you never had it? Nah, it's popular in America, right? Yeah. That's why lol. Oh, no. By cab by GTG bedtime calls. Yeah, same here. Cab songs to leave early, but it's like 5 a.m. for me and I wanna die. See ya. This is the kind of thing gamers see when they take drugs. Hope you have a good time with your, well, game lol. I should be sleeping our NPC. I have school tomorrow and it's my first day. He'll try not to die even though I am fresh meat. My teacher once told me that I would never amount to anything. They were right. What the hell is going on? Drugs? No teenage hormones. Ten-tenths live stream quality. I can't see.
Easy, boy.
I was blind, but now I see.
Don't I know you, sir?
Don't believe so. I haven't been here in many years. Name's Silas Greaves.
Silas Greaves? The bounty hunter?
Used to be.
Ah, well, what are you doing here in Abilene?
Just passing through. Got a little business to take care of.
Well, sir, it would be an honor if you would allow me to buy you a beer.
Hell, son, it would be my honor to drink it.
I'm Molly. Howdy.
I'm Dwight. That's Jack and Steve. Ben's behind the bar. Oh, I bet you got some great
This
stories.
reminds me of my
A couple.
great-grandfather.
Any of them true?
Jack, be nice.
A few.
What about your shootout with Henry Plummer's gang in Bannock, Montana? Is that where you started as a bounty hunter? That's what it says in this here dime novel.
Don't believe everything you read in them dime novels, boy. First man I hunted was back when I was riding with Billy the Kid.
You knew Billy the Kid?
Damn right. That scrawny son of a bitch had no fear. Wouldn't back down for nobody.
I heard he collected the 10 stars off any crooked lawman who crossed him.
It was a war, boy. The Lincoln County War. And Billy promised his regulators would take the life of every bastard who helped bushwhack John Tunstall.
Kid had a big chip on his shoulder and a hair-trigger temper. Made him dangerous as hell. It was about 30 years ago. Billy was hiding
How
out
does
in an
such book
abandoned
act the
farm
photo
near
and
Stinking
please?
Springs. I threw in with the kid because the man I had sworn vengeance on was riding with Billy's enemies. But before I tell you why I want that sumbitch dead, let me tell you what happened that day. I was heading back to the hideout when suddenly I had this funny feeling.
Funny, haha.
No, Steve. The other kind of funny.
Raid of all. Green raid. Green raid.
You heard
Green
that.
raid.
We need to stay
Green
here.
raid.
Keep an eye on the road.
Green raid.
That's not fair. We're missing all the fun.
I knew those two morons would never let me through. I had no choice.
Hell! Shoot that sumbitch!
Green raid. Green raid. Holla, amigos.
Was it Pat Garrett's posse?
Oh yeah.
Green raid.
I heard the shots and I knew I had to move fast.
Well, spread out, goddammit!
Garrett and his army of deputies had surrounded the entire homestead.
I did yeah.
Shoot! Don't let him catch a breath! Fire!
Green raid, yeah. I. This time. Green raid. Green raid. Holla, soy me go. Something in my bell. Green raid. Green R-A-U-D. high. The rate is on green raid, but the stream isn't centered. Green raid. Green raid. Number sign raid. RAAAAIIIIHHHHHV. Tell me when we retreat to Green's chat. Green raid. Green raid. You only capture 2/3 of game. Green raid. Sit on it. Rated sign.
I decided to help Billy and the boys out a bit. So that's just what I did.
Get rated sign.
Hey, we have one behind us! Stay on it! Cover fire! As the governor of New Mexico was paying for the kids' apprehension, Garrett was able to hire every gun hand in Lincoln County. God damn you! I'm putting you down!
Raid is on. Looks okay to me. Green RAUD.
You're dead!
Thanks at cool. Good night, friend.
I knew that going through that front door meant putting my butt in a shooting gallery, so I decided to get sneaky.
It's the name of this game.
Watch out! One of them! Garrett's men were running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off.
Send these some bitches running.
I'm here.
Still, one of them reached the water tower. Not a bad idea. It would be a turkey shoot from up there. Luckily, these shooters Garrett hired weren't the sharpest tools in the shed. A lot of them were saddle tramps, sod busters, or drunken drifters looking to make a few bucks. Then, I heard a friendly voice yelling at me from the window. Back door! We'll cover you!
Stop aiming, you idiot!
Truth be told, things weren't much better behind the house.
Watch your play!
This is my first stream. Don't forget
I cut their numbers in half, but that just made the ones that were left twice as mad.
We're Phil's fans, and we came here yelling Green Raid. XB.
Come out, you yellow bastard!
Give, like, sub.
They made up for their lack of skill with a seemingly endless supply of ammo. It was a bit of a slog, but I finally fought my way around the back of the house.
GeoPGs by everyone and good night.
And like that, I was inside, none the worse for wear.
No Mike cabooble.
I passed Dirty Dave. And upstairs, I found Billy and Charlie Baldry.
See you in Discord.
You think you can
No
kill
Mike.
me too? How about that? Huh? You
Billy looked at me and said, "About time, amigo. Grab a gun and get to the window."
Wait, so you were friends with Billy the Kid?
Yeah, sort of.
Where'd he come from?
Anyway, we were surrounded by dozens of deputized shooters who wanted to do us harm. I'm telling you, Garrett's men were dropping like flies, but they just kept on
I
coming.
can keep this up all day. I think I got one. Kill him, for Christ. Where the hell did Garrett get?
That's when Charlie got hit. They're catching us in a crossfire, shouted Billy.
It's a shooting
Get to
gallery.
the other side!
Where'd he come from?
I thought so.
I don't know how many of those cocksuckers I personally put down, but it was pretty clear, even to Billy, that maybe discretion was the better part of valor.
What's that mean?
It means that it was time to cut and run. They got a Gatlin, Billy shouted. Get the horses and bring them round back. I'll draw their attention. Directed that order at me, and I thought, why the hell do I have to
Go for it! Those poor sons of bitches are done for!
Many would have fled in my place. But I had that false sense of invincibility that many young men have. Like Jack here.
What are you saying, old man? Jack is just joshing with you now. Yeah, he better be.
Mr. Greaves, please continue.
Please, call me Silas, ma'am. Now, where was I?
You were heading for the barn.
Right. Making my way past a passel of fallen foes.
Sounds like Garrett hired a whole regiment of hired guns.
Yeah, and just when I thought I was done with them, more of these hapless bastards would pop up. Finally, I had the stables within my reach. After the fight, maybe we could treat ourselves to
Are
some
you able
fried
to
chicken.
release the border into video, or at least just a bit thinner? I find it kind of annoying and it kind of makes my eyes strain. Sorry, Cap. All
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star. You challenged him to a showdown.
all looks like fun.
You read that in a dime novel?
It said he showed no fear as he took your measure with eyes like a rattlesnake.
Rob, are you watching on a phone? Note on a map.
And that you killed him in a fair fight.
Is that what that Penny Dreadful said? No, boy.
Yeah.
That ain't what I meant when I said I met Pat Garrett. So let me start again. I finally reached those damn stables. Stepped inside, and last thing I heard was Garrett's voice. That's not Billy.
And go on, how did it end?
And, boy, that was just the beginning.
This monitor is for :3, which is why there is such a big border. He will fix it the next chapter.
So what happened? Did Garrett arrest you?
Yeah, after I came to, the bastard had clocked me with his Colt.
And the kid surrendered?
When he realized there was no getting out of there alive.
So they locked you up in Lincoln?
Indeed they did. Sentenced me to hang right along with the kid.
It's Bill's the
It's
kid.
important to know that I was only riding with Billy so I could find the bastard I was after. He was with John Kinney's gang, and they were sworn enemies of Billy's regulators.
Why were you after him?
I owed that son of a bitch a bullet for what he had done to me and mine. Instead, all I got for myself was a goddamn death sentence.
Been a minimum tax.
Luckily, it was right around then that I heard Billy make his move. He shot Jim Bell and a few other guards as he made his getaway. Later, they wrote that some lady friend planted a pistol for him in the privy. What the papers didn't say is that Billy helped me escape, too. My first order of business was finding a
What
firearm.
happened to text to speech?
Luckily, I located Deputy Bob Ollinger's mean-ass shotgun. I saw Billy through the window, and he yelled that I should take to the rooftops to make my escape. So I did.
Anybody see Billy? Son of a bitch shot Jim Brown forever.
Hell yeah. That scattergun was like a double-barreled howitzer. It could blow a man clear off his feet. You hardly had to aim the damn thing. Guards were everywhere looking for it.
Can't let the kid get away. Anybody see him?
Oh.
This some bitch is pissing me off. You bastard! I had to jump from roof to roof like a damn alley cat. I followed the planks where I could, but some of that wood was slippery as hell. The whole town was up in arms. And suddenly, I was a fugitive.
Sorry about the interruption.
How the hell did it escape? Garrett's gonna kick our ass! Can't have gotten far!
Damn, if it's still offline for you, just reload the page. Is this a test stream? The floor is locked.
Take that sucker!
So that bastard you were after, what did he do?
He did me and my family a grievous harm. But I knew if I was ever gonna find him, I would need to get my ever-loving ass out of there. I tried to be stealthy and sneak my way past.
This town doesn't have a moment's peace.
Where'd he get you? You!
But hell, if they weren't all waiting for me.
Well, I shall be.
Apparently, some of them thought I was Billy.
They're shooting in the street!
See, me and the kid shared a certain similarity in build and coloring. I was just glad I had Deputy Bob's mean-ass shotgun.
Bye.
Let's do this!
So much lead was whizzing by my head, it was like everyone in Lincoln wanted to put me in the ground. I knew I needed to find a horse. Though I never did have a great fondness for those four-legged grass eaters. Smelly, sweaty, ungrateful beasts. We prize them too high, if you ask me.
Good thing I'm in the southern hemisphere. Your night is my day. Well, what did you expect would happen? It's a red barrel, of course it would float. You can't find the fence.
But where was the kid while you were busy getting shot at?
Gone. And that's when it occurred to me why Billy set me free.
Respect for decency?
So I could be a hapless decoy and draw attention while he snuck out of town. Found what I was looking for. The stables on the edge of town.
I guess Billy saved your ass.
taking out Bob Ollinger the way he did.
Billy didn't kill Bob.
Well, sure he did. He dispatched him right after he shot Deputy Bell.
No, sir. Because Bob came right up behind me, angry as hell that Billy had lit out. "Hello, Bob," I said. "I think you better let me go." And he says, "I don't think so, boy. Not with my shotgun." So we stood there in the middle of the street, eyeball to eyeball. He intended to kill me, and I knew I had no choice but to defend myself.
Shout the gun. $10 standoff.
I killed him in a fair fight. Everybody saw I had no damn choice. Well, Lincoln got a mite depopulated that day. Pat Garrett gunned down Billy 3 months later, so his escape was all for naught anyway.
So where'd you go after Lincoln?
Mexico. Until I realized nobody was looking for me. I ended up taking a job at the Rurales.
The Mexican Rurales?
I was hired to help them track down the cowboys.
The most vicious outlaw gang in Cochise County? Curly Bill Brocious? Johnny Ringo?
Led by old man Clanton himself.
They must have paid you a pretty penny to take them hombres on.
Not really. But truth be told, I had my own reasons for going after those boys.
So was the bastard you were after now riding with the cowboys?
Roscoe Bob Bryant was his name.
Oh.
But no, this time it was a different bastard I was after. The aforementioned Mr. Ringo. And yes, he was working for old man Clanton. I came upon them robbing a stagecoach, which wasn't surprising, being they were such murderous thieves and bastards. The bandits wore red scarves, so I knew they worked for the old man.
Over there! There!
I did my best to help those poor passengers. Moments later, the attackers were dead, and I checked the stagecoach to see how many passengers were still breathing. None. It was then I wondered if the rocks weren't hiding more bandits. Was that all of them? Or did I just hit the rear guard? I quickly got my answer. They attacked from on high like Apaches often did. They would appear in great numbers from above and rain down lead on their hapless enemies' heads, making use of the high ground and whatever else they had. Yep, the Apaches always appeared out of nowhere, and there never seemed to be an end to them.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys?
Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style. I was in a pitched battle, but I was holding my own against an overwhelming enemy force. See, at the time, I was still pretty green and would often blunder into regrettable situations. But I just kept shooting at anything I could see up in those damn rocks. I didn't see Ringo, but I knew he was with the cowboys. He and Roscoe Bob had done me a dreadful wrong, and I was determined to have my revenge. But to get to Ringo, I knew I'd have to fight my way past these other assholes first.
He's getting away!
Unfortunately, I was running out of ammo. Another perfect example of my relative inexperience as a hunter of men. I immediately knew that a tactical retreat was called for, as my vengeful fury was much less impressive without the bullets to back it up. Finally, they managed to corner me. As I was, the odds of my survival seemed pretty good. Luckily, serendipity was on my side as I suddenly spotted a way out of my predicament. I ran ahead as if the devil himself was after me. Bullets were whizzing by my ears, but I wasn't about to roll over and die. I just kept running like there was no tomorrow. Because there wouldn't be if Clanton and his men caught up with me. As I was scurrying around those caves, I thought, what was I thinking? Going up against a gang like this?
Where's he gonna run to now?
I just kept running, not knowing where the hell I was going.
Have you gotta spend more than one stream per game? What even is this game?
Nowhere to run. No one will ever find me.
Also nice new text to speech voice.
And that's when something miraculous happened. Like manna from heaven. I found the desiccated remains of what looked like an Apache warrior. The old weapon next to him supplied me with some much-needed ammunition. Masterson once told me it was more important to be lucky than good, and he would know. And imagine my surprise when I found a fistful of dynamite to go along with that ammo. That stroke of good fortune evened the odds and bolstered my confidence. It was time to turn the tables. Time for the prey to become the predator. Time for the hunted to become the hunted.
Also tablet with a lack of soothing voiceover.
We get it.
Hey, another.
They were right where you wanted them.
That's right, Jack. I was done running. The old man's boys were not expecting that. No, sir. I came at them like a wildcat. My fury knew no bounds. It was finally time for that old man to pay for his sins.
It's because he is on my setup, which is not equipped for the kind of games he usually plays. I stream retro point and click slow all.
I yelled out at the top of my lungs, "Clanton!
That's literally
I'm coming
unstoppable.
for you!" A little stealth might have made more sense, to be perfectly honest. Because that old fool had a Gatling gun and enough bullets to last him till kingdom come.
So what you're saying is that you played Nico Barone at Palisade PG.
But I knew I could not let that deter me. Not if I was to find and kill Ringo. I needed to get that old man off that gun.
Eight now. Okay, so Minesweeper. Only I want views.
Most everyone thought it was the Ruales who had come up against him in Guadalupe Canyon. But it was just me.
Number 9 on like 40 views. By playing Cortex Command for the views.
Apparently, one of the cowboys made it out of there alive and told Ike and Billy Clanton that it wasn't a Mexican who took their father's life that day. They just assumed it was one of the Earps. And that little misunderstanding eventually led to that legendary gunfight at the OK Corral.
That's a staple of streaming that every streamer under the sun has played and got hundreds of views and subscriptions.
A few weeks after that dust-up at the OK Corral, I was still after Johnny Ringo.
Nuggets of truth.
I had tracked him and the cowboys to their hideout at a sawmill, and they were loaded for bear.
Somebody's coming! So, what exactly did Johnny Ringo do to piss you off?
I'm sure it rivals
Well, him and that
beauty
other
regularly.
bastard.
Roscoe Bob Bryant?
Yep. They both deserve to die, and I promise I'll tell you why. First, I need to tell you about the Cowboys' new boss, Curly Bill Brooks.
Oh! They're coming! Get ready, boys.
I am kind of curious about the nuggets of truth. I kind of dislike this text-to-speech TBH. I'd rather have Vic talk or text-to-speach.
Curly Bill took charge of the Cowboys upon the old man's demise, and after that gunfight at the OK Corral, the Clantons wanted revenge. So they murdered Morgan Earp and grievously wounded his older brother, Virgil. Wyatt and Doc went on what became known as the Vendetta Ride, hunting those outlaws down. So when I showed up, that's who they thought I was. Killers around every corner, all wearing red bandanas. That's how the Cowboys identified each other, and I was beginning to wish I had one myself. But I wasn't about to let Ringo walk away unscathed, and that's what drove me forward.
Say that Ringo was infernally fast.
I hardly saw anyone faster, boy.
Also, this isn't the
Certainly
fastest
not
post
Wyatt
shooting
Earp.
experience in history.
That man was
Why
all
don't you
hat
play
and
the
no
Mouse
cat.
to Mouse 1 simulator that is Battlefield 1's campaign?
Earp wasn't much of a match for him.
Careful
But
with
Doc
this
Holliday
pencil.
might have
There is a
taken it.
large penalty to your accuracy
That
for it.
Lunger should have kept his nose out of it. They never charged anyone for the murder of Morgan Earp.
But everybody knew that Curly shot him in the back. That was common knowledge.
Yeah, maybe so. But Ringo had nothing to do with it. He was just being loyal to a friend.
Is that what you call it? Being loyal. Well, to get to that loyal friend, I had to pass by some buzzsaws as big as a man.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
What's that, Dwight?
After old man Clanton died, why didn't his son take over the Cowboys?
Because Ike Clanton was dumber than a box of rocks and a yellow belly to boot. Now, where was I?
Taking down the entire cowboy gang
Because you don't get to experience the Wild
Indeed I
West
was,
through the
Jack.
eyes of a rather unreliable narrator. Collinson. But you also don't get to drive an A-70 heavy infantry tank.
Though it wasn't easy, as those boys had good cover.
The A-70 had 5 guns on it. Five whole entire guns. That sounds fun. But not as charming as this world. That's almost as many guns as the federal gunship. Have mentioned the federal gunship.
There were cars
It has 7
everywhere,
guns and
piles of
can even
lumber, and
house
God
the
knows
fighters.
what else for people to
Fighters
hide
have the
behind.
guns, so it really more like
That
9
really
guns
was
total.
one hell of a song.
Do you know how many
Quite
guns
an
it is?
impressive
It's
operation.
more than 5. Just how many?
And where was Curly Bill? Did you see him?
I'm about to get to that, Ben. Patience. I'm painting a picture here. There was this beautiful waterfall and a crystal clear stream that led
And
to a
yet,
verdant
here we
valley
are,
that was
playing
truly...
the good old western
Consider your
shoot 'em up.
picture painted. What happened next?
Well, finally the bastards that were still alive made a last stand.
He's painting the picture here. Yeah, but Cabooble can only hold the gun. 3 if you count the pistol has the gun.
Curly Bill, Johnny Ringo, and his compadres took off into the lumber yard, and I followed after.
Are you saying they ran? Cowardice was not in Ringo nor Curly Bill's nature.
No, sir. I never said they were running scared.
I never passed grade
They
school
just
math,
wanted
but I'm
me
fairly
out.
certain that 3 is a lower number and therefore less than 9. You are correct in your very basic math.
Lucius gave me no choice but to take his life. But Ringo was nowhere to be found.
I knew you didn't kill Ringo, because he was found dead in a different location altogether.
To this day, his killer is still unknown.
Indeed. Took me a few months before I finally tracked his ass to West Turkey Creek Canyon.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
This is actually a very nice game. It's severely underrated.
That's incredible, sir. I always thought that Doc Holliday was the one that killed him.
Sorry I had to ruin the legend for you, boy. But the legend ain't always true. Doc Holliday had nothing to do with the death of Johnny Ringo. I was paid a healthy bounty for Ringo and Curly Bill, and realized there was real money to be made. That's why I went after Henry Plummer.
Wasn't he the sheriff who augmented his income by shaking down miners and robbing gold shipments?
That's the one.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
You
He
should have
ran
done
that
a
gang of
styling
thieving
360
outlaws
note
called
and
the
see on that
Innocents.
revolver duel.
So it's true that you went toe-to-toe with him?
Indeed I did, son. Indeed I did.
Good night all.
I knew I needed resources if I was going to track down Roscoe Bob Bryant, and hunting Plummer looked like a good way to get rich quick.